Joining me today is Assistant Sheriff Major Cleveland Moore, who commands the Bessemer Division of Jefferson County. To my left, Deputy Chief Mark Farley, who supervises the criminal divisions in both Birmingham and Bessemer. We greet you on behalf of Sheriff Mark Petway and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. I'm going to start by reading a prepared statement, and then I will take your questions. This news conference is to inform you about warrants that have been issued in a major case in our county. Arrest warrants have been obtained against 50-year-old Frederick Hampton in connection with the death of Peyton Houston. Frederick Hampton is charged with the crime of abuse of corpse, which is a Class C felony. Under the Alabama Criminal Code, a person commits the crime of abuse of a corpse if, except as otherwise authorized by law, he knowingly treats a human corpse in a way that would outrage ordinary family sensibilities. Frederick Hampton is not in custody, and we are actively looking for him. This case started as a missing persons case, with the missing person being Peyton Houston. Peyton Houston was reported missing on December 21st, 2019. The remains of Peyton Houston were located on January 3rd, 2020, behind a house on Chapel Drive in Hueytown. We have not received the completed autopsy report, and the cause and manner of death has not been determined. What we know is that no physical trauma to the body of the victim would have led to her death. We have evidence that the victim and offender were together the night of December 20th, 2019. We have evidence that the victim died the next day at a house on McLean Street in Brighton. We have evidence that after the victim died, her body was disposed of in a criminal manner by Frederick Hampton. Frederick Hampton is charged with abuse of corpse. Frederick Hampton is also charged with violating the Sex Offender Notification Act. If additional evidence is developed, Hampton could face additional charges. The next step is to find Hampton and to take him into custody. It has taken a lot of work from a lot of people to get to this point. We would like to acknowledge everyone who has helped in this case. We would like to thank Birmingham Police Chief Patrick Smith and the Birmingham Police Department. We would like to thank Trussville Police Chief Eric Rush and the Trussville Police Department. They have been great. We would like to thank Hueytown Police Chief Mike Yarborough and the Hueytown Police Department. We would like to thank all of the investigators who work in the Metro Area Crime Center. We would like to thank our investigators from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office for their work. We would also like to thank Mr. Frank Deerfield, Mr. Charles Knight, Chief Anthony Purcell, and the entire board members of the Birmingham Crime Stoppers. We would like to thank the Birmingham business community for their support of Crime Stoppers, their support and their contributions. Their support over the last few months has been invaluable to law enforcement. We would like to thank Governor Kay Ivey for her concern for Jefferson County and for this family. We would like to thank all of the churches who stopped to pray for the Houston family and for law enforcement. And we would also like to thank our local media, all of our journalists, reporters, and producers who have kept attention to this case. Lastly, we would like to send our sincere sympathies to the Houston family in the loss of their loved ones. I will take your questions at this time.
Did Hampton and Houston know each other?
The victim and offender were together on December 20th and on December 21st. That's what we're saying.
Are you saying that she did leave the bar with Mr. Hampton, or do you know?
We are saying they were together on December 20th.
Willingly, voluntarily?
There is no evidence that there was any force.
What is this gentleman's background? Does he have any other, prior history leading up to this? Because I know you said he's in violation of the sex offender notification. Is there any prior history before this that you're able to speak on?
Frederick Hampton is a registered sex offender. At the time of this offense, he was current in his registration. After this offense, he did commit an offense which violated the Sex Offender Notification Act.
What was the motive for the abuse of corpse?
That would be a question for the offender who committed the act.
Can you say what led you to him?
A lot of evidence came in through tip lines, through Crime Stoppers. The investigators did a great job of following up on that information and tracking down the location of the victim.
That location, do you know any specific significance for that, why he might have taken her there or anything like that?
The offender was likely familiar with that property. It is quite possible and believed that relatives owned that property where the body was disposed.
Any other arrests possibly coming down the line, or is he the lone person so far?
This offender is responsible for this crime, for disposing of this corpse in this manner.
Any additional charges?
Additional charges are possible depending on what evidence becomes available. As of right now, this is where we stand, and we want to get him into custody.
If he's watching this right now, what do you want to say to him?
Well, we would hope that he would turn himself in. That would be best for everyone.
You have a timeline set to receive the autopsy results, Ms. Houston?
Well, that is up to the coroner's office. Their work is very important. It's very detailed. They need time to do their work, and we have to give them that time.
Is Hampton considered armed and dangerous?
He is a wanted man. We want him for the charges that we obtained warrants on for him yesterday.
Do you have any reason to believe he's left the state, maybe gone to like Georgia or?
It is
any other
possible
state?
he may be in Georgia. He may have gone to Georgia, and he may return.
That concludes our press conference for today. Thanks, guys.